Gracie is the guy who showed everyone what real martial arts are. It's really about fighting. It's not about you throwing your pretty kicks and thinking that you got some deft touch. It's reality. And reality, for most of the people who fought Royce Gracie in the early days of the UFC, was getting choked.
It is just a frightening experience for all the It's just, this is a major part of fighting. People do not understand that this is very strong. It's not a great joke, it's over.
I gotta fight this kid. What if I punch him and he just looks at me, doesn't even hurt him? Or, you know, what if I kick him and he just, nothing doesn't even faze him? Walking down through, seeing everybody, I'm a little emotional, and then as soon as John starts putting that Vaseline on my face, man, it's, you know, I'm ready to go. And then we get in the ring, and from there, it's just tunnel vision, just looking at the guy across the ring from you, kind of stop hearing things, I guess, and then game on when the bell rings. I started training jiu-jitsu probably about a year and a half ago. That's basically it. I boxed in Ohio for about 4 years while I was at college, and now I've been down here. MMA-wise, probably only, I don't know, maybe half a year. So my jiu-jitsu about a year and a half, MMA, like really training fight, maybe half a year. I've had 2 fights. My first fight I won TKO first round, technical knockout. Second fight won, second round, rear naked choke. I love the UFCs always, from, you know, the first one. I always watch it. I love the sport. Well, I got a phone call from my sister who lived in Florida at the time, and I was on vacation down here from Ohio for spring break. I got a call and she said, "Hey Ryan, you know, I met this guy at the gym. He's a professional fighter. He knows," she didn't say his name right at the time. She said he knows that Royce Gracie guy. I said, "He knows Royce Gracie." She goes, "Yeah, that's it. He knows him, and you know, he trains with him. He's a fighter." And I just thought it was, you know, some guy giving my sister a line, whatever, saying he's a professional fighter.
So I basically, being the alpha male, you know, guy that I am, I called him up and essentially challenged him, saying, "You don't think I'm being honest? Come on down to Florida."
Called me, he was like, "Listen, well, why don't you come down to my school? You can come, Royce is coming in June to do a seminar, come meet him." So I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. I come down, sure enough, come in at the Royce Gracie seminar, you know, watch the class. That guy now is my brother-in-law, you know, my coach.
When I was young, before the UFCs, I had a friend who had read about the Gracie family. He had flown to California. He came back to New York, and he started training me. He actually beat me up a little bit. He was about half my size, and I was pretty impressed with what he had done. So then I attended a seminar that the Gracies were teaching on the East Coast in Connecticut. And then when I went to college during my spring break, I spent a week training privates with Royce in Los Angeles. We became friends. On my summers, I went out and lived with Royce in Los Angeles. And then I graduated college and moved straight to Los Angeles to pursue a career as a fighter and an instructor.
The first time I met him, I couldn't even talk. He actually, I was staying at John's house, and him and Royce are really close, so Royce would just stay at his house too. Well, I can remember I was in the kitchen, like by myself or something, unpacking my bag, and Hoist walked in, and it was just me and him in the room. I'm like, oh gosh, and he starts talking to me, and like I can't even talk. He asked me where I'm from. I'm like, Ohio. He goes, what part? I say Pittsburgh. He's like, Pittsburgh, isn't that in PA? I'm like, I mean, I live in Ohio, but I'm close I couldn't even talk to him, you know what I mean? So it was weird. I was kind of starstruck. The whole Gracie family, you know, I hold them up here. This is their art that I do.
I actually knew them before the UFC was created. So it was pretty incredible to see the whole thing transpire, and being on his fight teams and helping him go through that process to a certain degree was a lot of fun and exciting. And over the past few years, our true friendship has evolved more from instructor, student, training partner to genuine just friends, same level as human beings.
Once again, I think you've proved that you are the ultimate champion. You've beaten everybody, and it looks like you're going to do it from now until forever.
I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the honor of the family, for the name that the family's been putting up for the last 65 years.
There's always been grappling, but put together as seamlessly and smooth and flawlessly as the Gracie family did, you know, no one else has done it. So without them, I think mixed martial arts would be a little sloppier, not as evolved as it is today, which I think it would get to at some point. But really, without them, we wouldn't have a UFC. The reason the UFC was created was to see which true martial art was better. Well, nowadays, you've got, you know, people who know just a little bit of grappling, just a little bit of striking, you know, just enough to get by and condition through the roof, or super strong, or, you know, super fast, or what have you. So you don't get to see purists anymore. You know, a true striker, because even the strikers need to know grappling, and the grapplers need to know striking.
It's good to know what kind of guy you're fighting. Me being from a jiu-jitsu school, you know, I like being on the ground. I'm comfortable being on my back. So it's nice knowing if I'm going to fight a stand-up guy who wants to keep me standing the whole time, wants to, you know, try and punch me or kick me, and wants to avoid me taking him down. So we kind of base our, whatever, the fight, the game plan around that. Or knowing if I'm going to fight a wrestler, now this guy wants to take me down, so all right, take me down, and now I'm on the ground, I'm comfortable here. So it's good just to know, you know, what style he is.
It is a chess match. You know, you can't just get on the ground and go crazy. And most of the fans who are unhappy with that are fans that don't train. Because anybody who truly trains in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu understands that it's true chess on the mat. You can't just make moves, you know, hastily, because the guy's going to counter you. You got to take your time. I think as the fans get more involved from a participation perspective by joining in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program of some sort, as you get more educated, you understand there's more to it than just get on the ground, punch each other in the heads. And in terms of Ryan as a competitive athlete, I'm excited for him. I think he's got an extremely bright future. I think he's a good-looking kid. I think he's smart. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he follows directions pretty well. So I think the sky's the limit.
I see myself in the UFC, man. I want to get there. Right now, you know, I would love to get on the Ultimate Fighter show, get some exposure, and, you know, maybe get a contract and just start fighting on the show. But until then, just whatever John puts together for me, you know, I'll keep fighting right now in the RFC, the Real Fighting Championships in Tampa, as long as I can until I get my big break. So I'll be fighting until I get there.
Who knows what tomorrow